It was my first time at DigiMarCon. Exceptional speakers, well planned and put together. I was thoroughly impressed. What I wanted to share was my takeaways from DigiMarCon. I was so honored to be asked to MC this event for the 2 days. And with all the talk about AI, digital, and technology evolving, what I learned as the MC is it is still human first. The humans are the only folks in the room that can read the room and that can intentionally create a shift. So for those of you who are concerned that AI is going to take over the world and make us completely redundant, I would have to say at this point in time, I don't agree. My second big takeaway from DigiMarCon was learn by doing. Everything is moving so fast these days. There are so many tools being added in the market. The only way to keep up and not fall behind is to dive in feet first into the deep end and just test and play with and try the tools. My second takeaway is to learn by doing. The only way to keep up and not fall behind right now is to dive in feet first and just start playing with the tools. Figure out what you want to create and just get in there and start doing, start playing, and see what the tool can actually do for you. My third takeaway was build and document your AI workflows as you're doing it. There are so many tools that we can stack together to create bigger and better things. Getting caught in one LLM or one platform is a trap. What you want to do is you want to look at what is the end thing that I want to create and what medium do I want to put it out there in? What channels am I creating it for? And figure out what can each of the different LLMs, AI platforms, and tools do for me to create that output. Try out video, try out animation, try out graphics. But in order to do that, we need the content first. And before that, you might need to go to strategy. So you might use Claude or ChatGPT to help you brainstorm what you want to create at the end. So start with brainstorming, then ask it, what are the best tools for me to create that output? And then start creating, and you create that loop and document that right after you create it, and then test and improve it as you go. My fourth takeaway from DigiMarCon is to execute the same task in different LLMs on different systems, because you're going to get different results from each, and you can compound your results to create the best end result, but you'll also learn as you're testing the LLMs what each of their nuances are and which ones are best for creating what. I know that I'm guilty of working in ChatGPT most of the time, but now I'm curious to check out what does Claude have to offer, what does Gemini have to offer me, and what does Copilot have to offer me. Make them compete against each other, see what happens. My next takeaway, brand was mentioned in almost every single talk and panel here at DigiMarCon. As someone who is an expert in developing brand-driven strategies for small to medium-sized businesses, that made me really happy. And when brand was being talked about, they were talking about not just tactics, is getting in, starting at the strategic level and making sure that your brand is the driver for all the things that you do, because consistency is so important. Be consistent across the platforms and the mediums that you're posting and generating in, and that's what creates a consistent and strong brand. And that brings me to my last takeaway from DigiMarCon, is that SEO is not dead, but GEO, AIO, and AEO are now equally important to SEO. You and your business are only relevant to the LLMs if you are developing content that relates to the human questions. Think about what the humans are entering in their prompt. What do they want to know about? What questions are they asking? Think about it in aspects of FAQs. I go back to Marcus Buckingham's They Ask, You Answer book. That is going to be key and critical to go back to his methodology to be found on the LLMs. What the LLMs are looking for is your content in small bites, incredible sources. Think trade magazines, online newspapers, any credible body that has your content on their site, on their platform, that is able to be found by the LLMs. The other thing about being found by the LLMs is that they are looking for consistent content. So that hasn't changed. It's just that long-form content is no longer king. They're looking for the most relevant content to the questions that people are asking. That's it. That's my highlights reel from DigiMarCon 2026.